Let's see how this works. Okay. Okay, I think I'm live. Yes, I am. Think I'm live. This is crazy. I think this is my first and a half time doing this. I think I tried it once with my husband, and I'm going live because someone. This is so impromptu. This is who I am and how I am. Just decided to do it just because somebody. Let me give her props that commented on a video I made today, and Saycon Talks recommended I do a live video to explain some things. Okay, guys. All right. I don't know where to start. So I did a video about a year ago, a little over a year ago, about fibroids and how I had fibroids and dealing with that and the pain, and how I did some natural remedies and how that helped so much with the pain. The main reason for me doing the natural remedy was because of the pain. The second reason would have been to get pregnant. Okay, because I wasn't getting pregnant. And I know not all infertilities for people that have fibroids as a result of fibroids. You can still get pregnant with fibroids. So it's deeper than fibroids. But for some people, it is the fibroids. So anyway, I'm trying to get all this in for y'all to where I'm at right now. And pray to God I don't get emotional. Wow, I already feel it right now. Anyway, um, so in doing all of that, I did get tested to see with my infertility because my mother made me go get tested to see if everything was okay. I'm the issue, of not getting pregnant, because I think subconsciously she felt that I wasn't the issue, but I didn't even want to, because I knew that if there was an issue, I wouldn't have done anything with traditional medicine anyway. So all my tests were positive. Everything was good. I had no issue with infertility or nutrients in my body, whatever test they do. But I didn't get my husband tested. So I'm doing the fast forward. So I'm good with fibroids in regards to the shrinkage and the pain, which was the biggest part. And fast forward, my husband's brother calls him to tell him he had some bad news. And the bad news is that the infertility, he was trying to get pregnant. Him and his wife were trying to conceive, and they had an issue. They've been trying, and they went to go get tested. So they went to go get tested. He went to go get tested. She had children in a prior relationship, and they were trying to have one together because he and my husband have no children. And so come to find out that I forgot the name of it. Come to find out, his sperm count was very low, and there is not much activity. And the doctor told him, was there anybody else having an issue? Because this is genetics. This runs in the gene. And he said, yeah, my brother, which is my husband. So a lot of times with infertility, we focus just on the women, and there's no focus on the husband, the man. And so there's things that can be done on both parts, making changes on both parties as far as lifestyle and eliminating things that kind of give an issue towards infertility. And the research I've done is like mind-boggling. Do you know, side note, that a man keeping his phone on his lap, you can't see my lap, so I'll sit up a little bit, that keeping a phone here or here or here, any area, any place here would cause issue with infertility for the man with his sperm count. Simple stuff like that. And of course, lack of nutrients and other things. So we just mainly focus on the woman and not the man. And so I think when you're trying to conceive, both men and women should do what it takes far as getting their body up to par with vitamins and nutrients and healthy eating and exercising and managing the stress. So when I was focusing on me trying to conceive, I didn't focus on my husband, and come to find out there are issues in regards to sperm count, which I had believed had something to do with their father, who had them in their 40s and who might have at that time had an issue with prostate because he died of prostate cancer. And my husband was 13 years old when his father died. So I think there's some relation to that. That was my assumption. And come to find out, the doctor told his brother the same thing. It just made sense. So that was that. Okay, now, so I gave you that tidbit. So I put in the caption fibroids, infertility, and faith having a baby. So I had been praying because I'm a woman of prayer. I pray about everything. And there's something, if there's something I really, really want, I'm going to bug God for it. But at the same time, I tell God, don't give me anything that I shouldn't have, but I'm going to ask you for it, but don't give it to me. I want what you want for me better, more, you know. And even though I get mad, kick, scream, and cry, I still don't give it to me if I shouldn't have it or I shouldn't have it yet because you know best. And so in this infertility part, you know, the fibroids are not giving me any pain. I wasn't having pain with my cycle. So now we're focusing on conceiving and nothing still, nothing. And I, you know, maybe I wasn't being 100%, you know, consistent in everything, but for the most part, for a healthy person, you know, I should be conceiving. Again, not thinking about my husband was an issue until that happened, and then trying to focus on him. But by that time, I was tired. So I was going through a grief and did not know it. So I can be very strong, you know, kind of tough, you know, get over it quick, you know, or try to get over it quick or suppress what I'm feeling. And I found myself just crying, you know, and just crying. And when I talk about, you know, not having children or not getting pregnant, and then I'll quickly shut it down. And we moved, we moved to the country in December, and we thought about, thank goodness I have a husband that's very understanding and patient. And we talked about fostering to adopt. We talked about fostering to adopt, and so that was something that we wanted to do or consider doing even before, even before we knew that we wouldn't be able to conceive. And so we were going to have our own set of children. One. Okay. He wanted three or four. I wanted two. So one adoption, one natural birth, or natural birth, two, and one. No more than three ever, just two. And so, but you know, we knew that's something we wanted to do to help a child and bless a child, you know, as well. So we had our plans. Wait 2 years after we get married, save money, get out of debt, and then, you know, bam, here comes the baby. First come love, first, then come marriage, then come a baby. Not. Um, then comes infertility, like somebody mentioned in an Instagram post. Um, I didn't know I was going to get hurt. I didn't think I would be that woman that would have an issue. Oh, I can't have a baby, so what? We'll adopt. And then lo and behold, I'm having an issue. So when we decided if we didn't get pregnant before we moved to the country, that after we move, we'll go into foster and to adopt. And we did just that, right? Like literally almost right after. And that's a whole story by itself. That's another video. And then as I'm going through the process to foster, I found myself crying more than usual. Um, I didn't even know why. You know, I'll talk about it to somebody and like, oh, how's the experience with the, you know, the classes with the foster? And I'll talk and cry. And then another topic relating to the foster to adopt, I'll talk about it and cry. I'm like, whoa, where is this coming from? Tears wiping it out, you know, like, whoa, what is coming from? So I shut it down. The more I suppressed it, the more it came out. I'm talking about even to strangers, people I didn't even know. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the light bulb hit me. Well, this happened first. I was home alone and I started crying and screaming. Oh, I didn't want to cry. Um, I started crying and screaming at the same time, just crying and screaming. Just screaming. Didn't I just screamed? I like, okay, just kind of let it out. And then it hit me. Am I grieving? And the answer was yes, I was grieving. And funny enough, the class topic for the foster was um, on grief. And one of the things were denial and some other stages there was. But I was in denial. My denial was that I was okay when I wasn't. And I learned that it's okay to not be okay. Just because you cry doesn't mean you don't believe and trust God, or you're still not a woman of faith. You're just being real that it hurts. And I didn't think it was going to hurt because I knew of a woman when I was in high school that I never forgot that got pregnant so many times. 6 at least and lost every time. And I saw her grow old in a matter of 3 to 4 years of high school. And I said I didn't want to be her. And I remember my aunt, who was like maybe 10 years older than me, having issues to conceive. She did end up conceiving, she only had one child, and how that allowed her and her husband to separate at the time. They're back together. Funny, when they separated, she was pregnant and didn't even know it. I said to myself, I didn't want that to be me. So I kind of put in my head that I'll never allow not being able to conceive to bring me down or create an issue, not knowing that it was going to be my issue. But anyway, so I realized I was grieving, and I spoke to someone that had a similar, but her story was nothing compared. My story was nothing compared to her. She had so many losses. I never had a miscarriage. I never got pregnant to have a miscarriage. But she went through miscarriages, several, and even a stillbirth, and even finally having a child and losing that child after 4 years. And so after that child was 4 years old, and so she actually ended up adopting also, but never was able to have her own biological child to live out. And so she was able to walk me through that grieving process. Oh boy, did I cry. I let everything out that I didn't know that I had in me, and didn't know infertility was a grief. I didn't think I had the right to grieve. I didn't physically lose a child. So I didn't have the right to grieve is what I felt and thought. And learning afterwards that it is a grief. It is a loss, the loss of not being able to conceive or to bear a child. And so that helped me a lot to talk to somebody that been through it, and that to tell me, and to have adopted, to know what that feel like, and the process of that journey, that took place as well. So that gave me a stepping stone. It helped me to be able to walk through this journey with more peace, knowing that what I was experiencing was natural and it was okay because I'm human and I'm a woman. And of course, I handle it and how my husband handled it is two different ball games. How my husband is, more calm and he's okay. Like he didn't go through anything I went through. He was okay, and that's all right. And so when I say baby, we prayed that if God wants us to go through an adoption, and that we're going to go through this foster to adopt, that he gives us a healthy child, whether it's a boy or girl. I always wanted a boy first. So I said I would love a boy because I'm the first of 5, and I had to be the tough one. Anybody mess with my siblings, Marisa was that girl. And I did. So, it would have been nice to have a big brother. So I wanted a boy, and I prayed for a healthy mind, body, and spirit, a child that we can, grow in the Lord, to raise up right, and to teach them things that we wish we learned, that our parents probably didn't know to teach. Just so many things. We just prayed that it had to be God's will, and that it was a child that he know that we would be a blessing to, and that child would be a blessing to us. And fast forward, we finished the foster classes, and we waited a couple of months and finally got a call for a baby boy, because I had an age range I preferred baby to no more than 3, and that was just our preference. And we got one he was 3 months old when we got him, and officially got him at 4 months, consistently. And he's about to be 6 months next week, and he is a possible adoption. And I prayed, and that's a whole journey, to think that you're having somebody else's child and it's not yours. So that's a whole another one. So a lot of prayer. And I did not want a child that the mother still wanted. That I couldn't, if a mother was still fighting for a child, I could not take a child the mother still wanted. It had to be a child that the mother did not want. And that right now, and seems to be the case. right now. That's the display. And so we just continue praying. We're praying for her. We're praying for the baby, and we're praying for us. And we're praying for God's will no matter what. If you ask me straight up what my desire would be, it would be to adopt him. Oh, we fell in love immediately. When I tell you that was emotional roller coaster, I got to tell you a whole separate story about this foster thing. It's a whole another emotional roller coaster. I don't know if it's talked about, but boy, I tell you, it was something that I said after this, I don't even want to go through this again. I'm at the point, if this doesn't happen, I'm okay with just being childless. But he is such adorable. Oh my gosh, he's adorable. He is such a joy. I cannot, like, it's for the mother to not want to see her child every day. I just can't fathom that. But when you're privileged to have something, sometimes you take it for granted than the person that has to work for it. It's different, but and it's no judgment on her, but we're just praying. And to be honest with you, I'm claiming that child. You know, I just am. So I speak as if the child is already mine until God says otherwise. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. I'm not really trying to impress anybody. But I'm just giving you the truth and the facts of it. And so right now, the baby that we have is not one that we conceive. My father, who don't have dreams, told me that he had a dream that after we adopted, that we conceived. I'm 42 years old, about to be 43. I'm like, woo, big belly Marisi at 43 and having a child probably by, I'll still be 43. I'm like, God, if you see it fit, but I'm not even looking for it at this moment. I'm like, okay, but I'm claiming this child, the one that we're taking care of and that we've been taking care of for months. I'm just claiming him as our child until God says no and somebody else comes in. And then I'm gonna kick, scream, and holler and cry. And then I'm gonna be okay. I'll be okay. But it has been a journey. I never would have thought Marisa would be going through this journey. Never in a million years, especially when you eat healthy, your plant-based diet. But then you realize what other things might have been a factor. Man, when I tell you they set us up from the food that they sell us to the environment to the things that we put on our body. They set us up. When you find out all the things that causes infertility, like they set us up from our mothers taking birth control pills or we taking birth control pills. Now, everybody don't have the same outcome. I may have infertility. Somebody else might have high blood pressure. Somebody else might have diabetes. Somebody else might have cancer. But it's all interconnected when you look into it and you go deeper. They're like, oh, but somebody did that and they have any problems getting pregnant? No, but they probably got something else. Or they end up passing it to their child. So we've been set up. We've been set up. Infertility is not just something that it's something that happened to us because of other factors that take place either from your own lifestyle or the lifestyle of your parents that's passed on to you. And then the environment. Then, of course, you got the stress that plays a factor. But so we haven't been able to conceive. We're finding out my issue with my husband, which can be fixed. I'm just tired. To be honest with you, I'm tired. But I didn't put him on, just to get his body right and for him not to get prostate cancer like his father. So I put him on a special diet and natural remedies so that, he doesn't at least get prostate cancer. Because since his father had it. But this is where we're at right now. When we adopt him, I see, amen. Mom has 7 adopted children. Yeah, it's a blessing. And I see your comment, Candy. And where was I anemic? Somebody asked, was I anemic? I was never anemic. Well, no, let me take that back. They always say I'm slightly. I was never anemic. So even I didn't have heavy bleedings. My period went from 3 days to 5 days now. But never anemic. But I do the diet. I eat a lot of greens. And I do take blackstrap molasses, which helps with being anemic. But if you drink milk can cause an issue with you being anemic. If you drink anything with vinegar in it, that also can cause you to be anemic as well. So look into that. But back on, so we haven't conceived the baby naturally. Whether my father's dream gonna hold true, we just have to wait and see by the end of this year, next year. I don't know. I'm at this point, whatever God wants. I'm trying to learn faith. I'm trying to learn to trust Him. And being honest. If I don't like the situation, I'm not happy with it, I'm still gonna tell Him, but I'm gonna trust Him anyway. And that doesn't mean I have to like it. It just means I have peace. So yes, it has been a journey. I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you a small part of it. Um, but I can't wait to show him, you guys. You know, if you're familiar with foster care, you can't show children spaces. But when we adopt him, oh my gosh, I'm gonna show you. He's beautiful. He is beautiful. It is tiring. It is tiring. Motherhood is busy. It's busy. I'm like, ooh, how do these people do it? Um, but yeah, it has been a journey. I do have a website, sheiswhole.org. I'm going to try to put more information on there. It gives you some information. There's books too, on the website that I got a lot of information as well. But sheiswhole.org, I'm going to share a lot more. Pray for me, because this time thing with having a baby in the mix, and I garden, so I grow my own food. It's just a lot, and I really want to give more videos just to kind of like just share things that I think a lot of people don't talk about, and for rightly so, because you have the right not to talk about things. But this whole infertility and fostering to adopt, and the grief, or even having or your partner might be the one that's an issue, that for the infertility. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And then how do you find peace? How do you be okay with not being okay, then be okay? And then be okay. Hi, good day. How many fibers did you have after you did? Okay, I had two. That all they saw was two, and when I have a planned video, all my videos are never planned. I'll be able to show the paper with the sizes. I think one was the size of a grapefruit or orange, and the other was smaller. It was smaller, probably maybe a golf size. Golf size. Now, I have to be honest. I've been lazy in regards to actually seeing how much they shrunk. So I don't know the amount that is shrunk, and we just moved. So I got a doctor's name that I'm gonna pick. So hopefully before this year is over, I'll know how much it has shrunk. And so I only know of two when I got the sonograph done a couple of years ago. And one was kind of big. I said size of a grapefruit or orange. That was the size. And my biggest thing was pain. I didn't have like the bulging stomach. I did get bloatedness, but when I changed the diet even more, no bloatedness. When I got it out of wheat, I didn't get that bloatedness that I get during my period. No more bloatedness. So diet, I'm telling you guys, diet and patience and eliminating a lot of things. So in regards to people are asking me about fibroids, here are the things that can create an issue with fibroids. Meat. I pause because not a lot of people want to get off of meat. Meat. If you're going to eat meat, do not eat it every day and do organic. I mean, do a try one for 6 months at least. 6 months. I know it's a lot. But meat, plastic. Try not drinking or putting your food in plastic. Meat, I love it. Plastic. I'm gonna be honest with you. Those hair dyes. This is not why I shave my hair off. I shave my hair off because I'm tired, and I just feel like it. But I would have kept growing my hair, but I'm gonna want to put gel in it. So all those chemicals that the products that we put in our hair, the shampoos, the soap. Try to get stuff that is not so chemically based, especially if they have paraben in it. A lot of the things are endocrine disruptors that affects our hormones. So it's not just the meat. It's the stuff that we put on our body and makeup. Okay, I'm not telling you don't wear makeup, but there are makeups that are natural, that don't have a lot of those chemicals in it, that is going to cause an issue with your endocrine system, which affects your hormones and gives you all the areas in the problems with your reproductive system and other health issues. So from the chemicals that go in our body, our hair, the plastics we drink out of or eat out of, and I know it's hard to avoid plastic completely, but if you can, decrease it. I gotta fly. decrease it, that would help. So try to drink out of glass or stainless steel, that kind of stuff. Another, stress. Stress will keep your fibroids there. It will create the pain, the PMS pain. It will create all type of issues. Stress, and guess what? Sleeping. If you sleep late, you have the pain. You have the issue with your fibroids. So it's not just what you eat. It's the time you go to bed. It's what you put on your body, on your skin. You have to drink plenty of water, sunlight, getting some sun, getting some fresh air, and exercise. You got to walk. Even for just exercise for fibroids, I think people have videos on there, squatting, Pilates. Those stretches help with eliminating pain. Doing an enema. Yeah, you guys know about enema, right? Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me go get one of those. Okay, you can go to a drugstore. And get an enema bag, and it normally come with the stuff that you need. That helps to eliminate any waste. That can also create an issue. Doing juicing maybe for a week and a detox, and then kick off a healthy diet with the castor oil pack. That would help. And since I'm here, chase tree. Chase tree is not the only tea herb that helps with fibroids. There are so many others. I'll see if I can post some on my website. The chase tree is not the only tea. That's the one I use, but there's so many. You could do the powder, you could do the liquid, or you could do the herb. But you just got to be consistent. It's easy not to be consistent because you want it fast, fast, fast. But chase tree, which I mentioned on the video, is not the only herb. But if you could change your diet, eat healthier, eat more plant-based. I know you love the meat. Who said that? Miss O, can I see? Can you children, or is this class a meat too? Is class with meat too? Can you have chicken, or is this class? Okay, yes, chicken is okay. Chicken is injected with hormones. The reason that we have issues with our fibroids is an imbalance of the hormones. So we all naturally have hormones, right? That's in our body. We have just hormone system that's going on in our body. And now you added more hormones to your body. This is why that even vegetarians, people that are not vegetarian that consume soy, they have to get off of soy as well, mainly because of what they do to the soy. Soy is supposed to be good for you. But because they're messing with the soy as well, like they do with the chicken, they inject it with hormones, then you have an issue. Now, if you know a farmer and you are that farmer and you grow your own chicken very healthy, then maybe you could get away with eating chicken. But they're injected with hormones to grow bigger and faster real quick. And guess what's growing in us? Something is growing in us bigger and faster and quick. So chicken would be out of it. Again, if you're going to have to eat meat, you don't have to, but you feel you have to. I would limit it to 2 days out the week if possible, and add a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables, your carrots, your collard greens, not with no fat back, not with any nothing in it, no meat, sauce, your greens, your carrots, all your healthy leafy green vegetables. Increase that with your healthy grains and make the meat portions smaller and not every day. Then you can get away with it. Maybe you can organize castor oil pack challenge. Your subsidies would love it. That's a good idea. I like that. I really like that. Let me see. We're August 1st. I don't know how we would do it. I don't know if y'all guys are on Instagram, but the castor oil, let me talk a little bit about that. That helps a lot. Be patient with the healing. I'm not against surgery. So some people hit me up. I'm not against surgery. I just don't like it, but if you're going to do surgery, if any of y'all thinking about doing a surgery, see which one y'all think is good that y'all would want to do if y'all thinking about it. But make sure you do a healthy lifestyle before you do the surgery, and then continue. Fibroids is one of those things, unless you remove the whole uterus, it comes back if you do not stay on a healthy regimen. Same thing if you do it naturally. If you do not stay on a healthy regimen and manage the stress, and I know stress comes to all of us, we just have to manage it. It can come back, because stress affects your hormones also. I bleed all the time. I need surgery. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. Now, there are there are reasons I would probably, if I was to kind of advise somebody when they probably would need surgery. If you're bleeding and everything you're doing is not helping, then go ahead. If you kind of like, because then you're gonna have issue with low blood. So if you're constantly bleeding, it was another reason. If you're in so much pain like I was, and you're not gonna do, and you don't have the patience. I have a little bit pain tolerance, and even though I'm screaming, I'm still gonna tolerate the pain. If you haven't had serious pain and you don't think you're ready or wanting to do the natural way because it's going to take too long, then yeah, consider surgery. For people that they just don't like how their stomach look, you really don't need the surgery, but you might want the cosmetics. But those like need, if you're losing a lot of blood and if you're in so much pain that you cannot tolerate, then you might want to consider that. But even after you do the surgery, I would say even before doing the surgery, make sure you're doing the blackstrap molasses. Make sure you're doing some making the healthy changes so you have a healthy, successful surgery and heal faster. Do your carrot juicing, juice carrots, celery mix together, beets, so you can get all your vitamins and nutrients so your body heals nicely, and continue it after your surgery if you decide to do surgery. And again, it can come back. Surgery doesn't make it not come back. It can come back. How it doesn't come back is going on a healthy lifestyle, staying on a healthy lifestyle. Um, yeah, so that's what I would do. Again, still do the castor oil pack until you set a date for your surgery, and eliminating the foods that are unhealthy, and see if that helps with the oh, milk thistle. I'm trying to think. Milk thistle helps with the bleeding. And don't hold me to it. I'm gonna try this week to put all the teas that helps on my Instagram or my website, sheiswhole.org, that teas that would help with the bleeding. Milk thistle, and still do the castor oil pack. And milk thistle and another tea helps with the bleeding, but I'll put it in there. But milk thistle is one of them that with heavy bleeding. While you have your date set up, since you're moving forward with that, Jennifer. But yeah, so again, no health issue comes without a cause. It could be stress, it could be a lifestyle, or it could be environmental, or it could be chemicals. So in those areas, you want to find where you can do better. And then, of course, exercise. You still got to exercise, which helps with the body as well. So that's for if you do surgery, if you don't do surgery, if you do the natural way, if you don't do the natural way, you still want to make some lifestyle changes that would help. So for me, I did not have the heavy bleeding. What I did have though is running to the bathroom. Running to the bathroom because you can't hold your pee because it's pressing against your bladder. What also can help, and maybe I'll do a video on this, is if you know yoni eggs, you can look up yoni eggs, and it's an egg that you can stick up, and I think I can say this on here, your vagina, and it has different sizes, and what is that? It strengthens your muscles, and your what is that? Your Let me see the clitoris. It strengthens the muscles so that you can hold your pee also as you get ready to shrink your fibroids. So that was the issue I had, not being able to hold my pee and run into the bathroom, which was definitely an inconvenience with that, and that was not a good look. Any other things? I did want to share about the baby thing, so I'll definitely share more about that and give you more insight on fibroids and just PMS. A lot of these things can be managed. Again, a lot of it is due to lifestyle. Everything affects your health. The time you go to bed, the amount of water you don't drink or that you should, getting some fresh air, getting some sunlight, managing your stress, and how you eat and when you eat. All of these things, when you don't do it correctly, because sometimes I'm guilty, when we don't do it, it affects our hormones. And then when there's a hormone imbalance, the body becomes out of whack, and then you have different health issues because your hormones is connected to different organs of your body. And then your hormones is connected to, let's say for us women, our reproductive system. So you may have the health issue at your reproductive system. It's also connected to different organs of your body. So if somebody doesn't have issues with their reproductive system, they may have issues with high blood pressure or liver, which is still connected to the hormones. So either way, you want to make a healthy lifestyle, no matter what you do. And so that's really it. It's been a journey. You never know what type of um you never know where you're going to end up or where life's going to take you. But all of it is just, I think, for awareness to help us to do better. So situations come so that we could take notice of what needs to be done better. And so that's where I'm at. I can't wait to give you more. I'm excited. I'll know in December if nothing changes. Well, I'll know in September, kind of, if we're going to adopt. And December would finalize if we're going to adopt. And oh, vinegar. Somebody asked for apple cider vinegar. Do not use apple cider vinegar. It can create anemia. Okay. If you ever did experiment with apple cider vinegar or vinegar period, you can let chicken bones soak in vinegar and it'll make the bone rubbery. It can cause osteoporosis. You could clean blood with vinegar because it soaks up the blood. It can do it in your body. It can make your bones brittle. So what you would use in place of vinegar is lemon. If you get a hold of lemon wherever you are, you can definitely use lemon in place of vinegar. Vinegar is very acidic, and you do not want that. Lemon is both acidic and alkaline, so it will help in place of that. I take lemon water, half or a whole lemon with a cup of water every morning. That helps with your immune system and cleaning your body as well as your blood. So I would do lemon instead of apple cider vinegar. It has so many benefits if you just did lemon. And it's your vitamin C as well. So if you mix that with blackstrap molasses, is good. If without blackstrap molasses, is good also. Any other questions before we sign out? Because I don't want to be too lengthy with y'all. I don't want to bore you guys to death. This is good because the baby is sleeping. This is a miracle. I prayed for 2 hours. I'm actually supposed to be planting. I'm going to be growing Brussels sprouts and cauliflower. And if you go to my Instagram, you'll see that I do garden. I do grow my own food as well. I'm not the healthiest girl in the world. When I'm stressed, I do go out for sweet and salty popcorn. So I'm not the healthiest. But any other question as it relates to fibroids? Do the castor oil pack. Drink plenty of water. Don't go to bed too late. Do not eat late. If you could eat no later than 6 for your heaviest meal, I would say earlier, but y'all probably kill me. But eat a set breakfast. And we'll talk about that in another video, how you do the intermittent fast that people talk about. The real way to do it is really you eat breakfast in the morning. Do not eat breakfast at 11, 12, 1 o'clock, your first meal. I think they're doing like that. Everyone should be eating in the morning your breakfast. Space it out 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours, and then lunch. And then supper should be light. If you're having issues with bloatedness, that will help you. If you drink lemon water before you eat, if you experience bloatedness, for those who have bloatedness, it's a gut issue. And aloe, slippery elm, slippery elm, aloe. There's another one that helps with gut issues if you experiencing bloatedness. I can't remember the third one, but yeah, drinking lemon water before your meal if you really have issue with bloatedness, and getting off of wheat. Get off of wheat for the most part if you can. That creates bloatedness as well. That's something that you can do as well. So anything else, guys, before I get off? Any other questions, any concerns? The issues that fibro cause, heavy bleeding, incontinence, I think is how it's pronounced. Is milk good or best for heavy dairy? Milk can cause anemia too. It actually, it leaches calcium from the bones. So, and it's supposed to be, and it's supposed to do a body good, right? It's supposed to do your bones good. Milk causes issue with anemia. So if anybody on here is anemic, and you drink milk, cow's milk, take it out. That's linked to it as well. For milk, you can do cashew milk. You can do almond milk. You can make your own. I have a couple of videos on my YouTube on making your own milk, or you can buy it. Coconut milk is very good as well. You can do that as well. So those are good. I would definitely eliminate any dairy. Oatmeal. For anybody that's gluten intolerance or has celiac, or notice that when they eat wheat, it's an issue. Make sure you pay attention if oatmeal does the same thing for you. Oatmeal is good, but not for everybody. I can't have oatmeal. I'll get kind of like ashy around my mouth, almost not heavy dermatitis really, but just I'll get ashy around my lips, around here. So I can't eat oatmeal. Neither can my mom nor my sister. And we all can't eat wheat. We'll have a wheat intolerance. But oatmeal is good if you can tolerate it. It doesn't cause issue with you. It's not something for you to eat every day. There's so many things. Guys, follow me on Instagram. I'm always posting healthy meals that you can have. Go on Pinterest for plant-based options that you can have for breakfast ideas, so you don't have to eat the same thing every day, and especially not oatmeal every day. So yes, Saquon is the reason why we're doing a live video. Saquon talks. So she's the one that actually had me doing an impromptu on the video. So we're talking about a lot of stuff. So I think this video records. But far as breakfast, is wild rice still wheat? No. Far as your healthy grains that are not gluten, is your millet. Millet is very healthy. You have to know how to cook to make it taste good. Your first time eating it, it might not seem like it's good, but flavor it up. Millet is a grain. No, some people say it's a grain, or some people say it's a seed. So people are doing a grainless diet kind of thing. So if you are, millet is considered a seed. Some people say it's a grain. You cook it like rice. It's alkaline, if that means anything to you. So it's very healthy. It's least tampered with, because not everybody's touching it. And it's very inexpensive. So that's a plus. So millet is one. Brown rice, wild rice, anything brown, not refined, is healthy. You have your quinoa. There's different kinds of quinoa. There's it's white, but it's not bleached. And you have the red quinoa, and you have the black quinoa. Those are healthy. You have your spelt. Some people can tolerate spelt. It still have a little gluten in it, but it's not wheat. So you have your millet, your quinoa, your brown rice, wild rice, black rice. Spelt is another grain. You have amaranth. Not everybody touches amaranth. It's a little bit on the pricey side. That's also a grain. So if you're not doing grains every day, I don't recommend doing grains every day. Flip it up, mix it up. Do potatoes one day, especially sweet potatoes as your heavy carb. You have your butternut squash as your heavy carb. You have your regular potatoes. Then you can do quinoa another day. You can have brown rice. So you're not doing rice every day. So if you switch it up, you see how you lose the weight. If you're looking to losing weight, by not eating the same thing every day, and not having to cook things that would take a lot of time. Quinoa takes about maybe 15 to 20 minutes. So those are healthy grains right there. Wheat is considered gluten, and I would ask everybody to stay away from it. Even my husband, who still has it from time to time, but stay away from wheat if you can. So rice is not wheat, but do not do white rice unless you're starving and don't have another choice. Do brown rice better. Brown, black rice is fine. What kills fibroids permanently? Like doing a healthy lifestyle permanently. That's it. Continue with the healthy lifestyle and not going back to the old lifestyle. And that, like I said, it consists of you eating healthy fruits, nuts, grains, vegetables, and legumes, which is your beans. Sticking to those food. If you're a perfect person, even I'm not perfect, then you'll stay away from any processed food. That's the ideal way to go. If you have it occasionally, that won't bring the fibroids back. But if you eat a whole foods, plant-based foods, watch the stress. I'm telling you, let me give you an example how stress can do something. I had a client who was not getting her period on a regular basis. Period come from missed months. She used to be on the birth control pill. She got off of that, but that was not, no, they put her on birth control pill so that she could get her period regularly. She was in her 20s, and her soon-to-be fiance at that time, asked me to see her before they got married, just to handle some issues. So we had a consultation, and to dug deep, she was very angry with her father, who had died. Her father died, but she was angry with him when he was alive, because he left her mother, the family, took on another family and left them. She was very angry because she saw the pain that it caused her mother. And of course, she internalized that pain. And then he died, never resolving the issue that she had with them, the anger, the hatred that she had towards him. So her anger went from anger toward depression to being so even thoughts of suicide. And so we talked about that. We talked about the forgiveness because some health issues are not just about diet. It's not just what you're eating, but what's eating you. And so we talked about forgiving herself and forgiving her father, even though she had passed. And then after we dealt with the eternal part, the inside, then we focus also on the diet and I don't even think we did any natural remedies for that one. It was just changing her diet. I can't remember because this was years ago. We're talking about almost 10 years ago. Within 3 months, she was consistently, after 3 months, she was consistently getting her cycle without any medication. Her issue was not just diet. Her issue was going on inside. That's what was happening. So managing the stress is another part of health. So you have the diet, you have the stress, you have the exercise. Like I mentioned before, you do those consistently. The time you go to sleep. Now I'm not saying stress is eliminated. It is managed. You know how to manage and cope. These days, I feel like a lot of people don't know how to cope with stress, and that's how you permanently. And of course, the exercise as well. Let me see, make sure I catch up. And then of course you add the teas, the herbal teas, the castor oil pack. You don't have to do that forever. You don't have to do teas forever. You don't have to do the castor oil pack forever. Just for the time of healing, and just stay on a healthy diet and with exercise and good sleep and managing stress. Okay, about the baby. Okay, yeah, you have to watch the video. The baby is actually one that we're getting ready to adopt, not conceived, and I talked about that. Good day, Tyler. Um, Yogurts and oats and bran cereal. Um, I would say eliminate the wheat. You can still do oats if you don't have an issue with oats. Yogurt, if you can do a plant-based yogurt. There's ones that now that are made with coconut yogurt. You can look up on Pinterest for. I think it's yogurt is what is being said, not yoga. Yeah, yogurt. I would eliminate any dairy, anything coming from a cow. I would eliminate because that would have just all that does is going to grow the fibroids. So eliminate dairy out of your diet. Okay, I hear the baby crying now. The baby just woke up. Let me know what you guys would like to hear about, what you learned, and I'll talk only specifically on that subject. And so we won't be all over the place because I talked about infertility, about my husband's infertility, running his family, about being emotional, about and grieving, not being able to conceive. And so I talked about a whole lot of stuff and touching on fibroids. Again, I even touched on surgery if you decide to have surgery. Again, fibroids can come back. How you permanently get rid of it is by maintaining a healthy lifestyle, mind, body, and spirit. With all things, I always say pray, ask God for wisdom, and consistency is the beast. So a lot of times we're not doing everything we should be doing because we're not being consistent. So even praying for that. So okay, I have to go. Do we have wash our fruits and vegetables with soda? I've never done it with yeah, pesticides. I know everybody can't do organic, but pesticides mainly I do vinegar. I've washed it with vinegar. You probably can do baking soda. I've done vinegar, soaked it on vinegar. I use activated charcoal. Definitely do what you can to clean your fruits and then pray over it. Okay, don't stress because if you stress about your food, then that'll kill you. But yeah, clean them as much as you can. Let them soak in whatever you choose to make them soak in. Vinegar, baking soda. What's another one? Activated charcoal. I think some people use vegetable peroxide, food grade peroxide. I think has been used as one to clean for pesticides. And then you just pray. But don't stress though. Yes, it is. It is. I have a lot more to share, boy. Part of my calling. If we eliminate dairy products completely, we need calcium. Oh, you have nuts.
There's so many things that have calcium in it. Do I have okay? Y'all gonna have me doing a lot of work to put on my website, but no, you get calcium from almonds. Drink almond milk. There's so many things that have calcium in it. Sunflower seeds. That's why I said do a balance of food, fruits, nuts, grains, and vegetables. Oh, greens. Oh my gosh, everybody need to stock up on greens. That has a lot of calcium. You do not need milk. Trust me, you do not need milk. You do not need meat. Um, okay, 1 minute and I'm going, guys. Thank you. Please do something on iron loss and molasses. Okay. I do have a video on it. Saying molasses is not considered black strap molasses is not considered the same as white sugar. That's two different animals, two different beasts. Um, so okay, let's see. Blood. I have success with Florix and blood builder is been amazing. I guess I gotta really cut the dairy more. Yeah, it'll counteract. No, no dairy. It causes anemia and other issues as well. And thank you. Okay, dairy calcium cells is too big for humans anyway. I just eat it for pleasure. Ah, okay. And there's alternatives for everyone. Everything. Do your research. Google. Everything is out there. Everybody's putting things out there. Follow me on Instagram. I'm the wellness speaker. I think I put a link on the other video I shared before. And anything I want to know as far as related to women, that you might feel like I did a video on dryness because I had dryness. Aloe works. I didn't put on aloe. So anything related to women that you might be shy, bashful, scared to talk about or humiliated, trust me, you ain't the only one. Somebody's been there or I've been there. um, but thanks for recommending it, Saquon. Thank you, everybody. Almond milk is good, correct? Miss O, thank you for coming on in. And pray for me. I'll try to see if I can pick a day out the week or every 2 weeks to do a video. And thank you guys for coming on in and even listening to me for this long. Have a blessed day until next time, guys. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Tyler. Bye.